In the annals of World War II aviation, much attention is paid to engines, airframe design, weapons, and tactics. Yet, one of the less glamorous but absolutely critical elements of air power was fuel. The Luftwaffe's ability to sustain aerial combat depended on the quality and quantity of the aviation gasoline. Among the fuels developed by Nazi Germany to compensate for its lack of oil was the little known C-3, a synthetic, high octane blend, sometimes likened to a kind of synthetic blood coursing through the veins of German fighters. Though not perfect, it represented a remarkable technological achievement and a telling illustration of how strategic constraints shaped the air war. From the very first day of the war, Germany faced a fundamental strategic weakness. It lacked adequate domestic crude oil resources. While the Reich had some oil production and imported supplies mainly from Romanian fields, the amounts were never enough to sustain the massive logistics of a modern mechanized war. To mitigate that deficit, Germany invested heavily in synthetic fuel technologies, drawing on coal and coal tar derivatives via hydrogenation and related methods. The principal process in use was the Fischer-Tropsch synthesis. By the war's midpoint, synthetic fuel was no more a backup, it formed the backbone of German military fuel supplies. In fact, the maximum production rate for aviation-grade gasoline in Germany was around 50,000 barrels per day, virtually all derived from coal-based hydrogenation. Germany's synthetic aviation gasoline was not monolithic. The Germans produced two principal classes. The B4, a lower octane grade often painted blue in fuel triangle markings, and the C-3, the higher octane grade, painted green in fuel triangle markings. The Germans designed C-3 explicitly to allow higher power output under rich mixture conditions, at the cost of more challenging performance under lean or cruising mixtures. In short, the B4 was the workhorse, adequate for everyday use and for engines without extreme boost, while the C3 was the fuel for high-performance use. One persistent myth, even among aviation enthusiasts, is that German aircraft flew on very low octane fuel relative to the Allies. This is a misinterpretation. In fact, later in the war, the German C3 fuel was roughly comparable, especially in rich mixtures, to Allied 100 octane aviation gasoline. This means that despite the limited resources, Germany's petrochemical engineers were able to tailor hydrogenation and blending to deliver a workable aviation fuel. I've launched a special World War II word search puzzle book series, each volume dedicated to one of the pivotal battles of the war. They are a fun way to relive history while giving your brain a healthy challenge. Collect them all and build your own library of World War II battles in puzzle form. You will find the links in the description below. In reality, Germany never produced enough C-3 to equip all units. Often, fighter units near the fronts or with high priority would receive the C-3, others had to make to do with the B-4. As bombing and resource attrition intensified, the quality of the synthetic fuels, including the C-3, deteriorated. Some post-war tests of captured German fuels show lower specific gravities and departure from ideal blends. Thus, the C-3 was powerful and clever, but never magical. It was an engineering triumph born from strategic necessity. The C-3's utility depended on the engines using it. Some German engines were optimized for it, others were less capable of harnessing its full potential. For example, on the Daimler-Benz DB605 used in the Messerschmitt Bf 109s and others, the C-3 allowed extra performance safely. However, some accounts mention that the late four BMW 801 engines were fed with C-3, though the advantage may have been more modest given the engine's design constraints. Some suggest that under certain conditions, a C-3-driven engine might lose up to 50% of its potential performance if forced to run lean mixtures, something Allied fuels avoided more gracefully. In short, the C-3 was often operated in rich, high-boost modes rather than lean cruise modes to extract maximum performance. The synthetic blood analogy is apt. During combat pulses, it could deliver life, but under strain or deprivation, its limitations became evident. Germany's synthetic fuel plants and refining complexes became prime Allied strategic bombing targets. Facilities producing hydrogenation and orthodox petrochemical operations were heavy, concentrated, and vulnerable. Disruption of one pipeline or plant could cascade into fuel shortages. By late 1944 and early 1945, Allied bombing further degraded Germany's ability to maintain the quality and consistency of synthetic fuels. Many plants were damaged, catalysts were in short supply, feedstock logistics were disrupted. As a result, the quality of the C-3 and B-4 stocks declined. Thus, the very industrial miracle that created the C-3 also became the Achilles heel when under sustained aerial assault. The C-3 fuel is a testament to how chemical engineering can stretch the boundaries of strategic constraints. Germany lacked petroleum, but its scientists and petrochemical engineers employed coal-based hydrogenation and careful blending to deliver a workable aviation fuel. They didn't achieve perfection, but they achieved viability under pressure. In that sense, the C-3 was a kind of synthetic blood, not nature's first choice, but what German aviation had to draw upon to survive and fight. The post-war narratives often simplified German aviation fuel as bad and Allied fuels as universally superior. That narrative is only partially true. While Allied oil-rich economies and refining infrastructure gave them great advantages, the Germans' C-3 was competitive, especially in rich power regimes. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to support my channel, check out the PayPal donation link in the description or consider becoming a member. To make sure you don't miss my future work, subscribe to my channel please and press the bell notification button. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.